I do want to touch on a very good night's work for Irish football last night, and for Shamrock Rovers in particular first. Brian, we've talked about it often enough in recent times, especially since the Conference League came aboard, the importance of Irish teams getting in there. So how big a result was that for Rovers, first of all, but also for Irish football in general?
Well, I think it was a very important result. I think people who are not kind of regular followers of League of Ireland football, but are sports people in Ireland, only respect League of Ireland football teams if they get good results in European football against teams from other countries, obviously. Outside of that, they have very little interest. They might take a look at the cup final or the table towards the end of the season. So in some ways, while the League and League of Ireland has been big increase in fans over the last season, since fans are allowed back in after COVID, and that's great, and the league is developing, the clubs are all working very hard. These results are absolutely crucial, and Shamrock Rovers have done very well. St Patrick's Athletic have done very well. Sligo did well, particularly in beating Motherwell, who are a team, you know, reasonably high up in the Scottish Premier League, over the two legs, winning both matches. Fantastic performance. We need that to happen on a consistent basis for more and more people in Ireland to prepare to follow the league, invest in the league, get behind the clubs, and so we can retain our better players, because the clubs can pay them better wages and they'll stay in the country, and our teams will continue to be competitive in European football. These results this year, I think, will help towards a coefficient, but the clubs are also battling in some ways with the FAI about having to play league games and cup games in between these matches. And I understand the difficulties of getting the whole competitive season fit into the type of compressed season we have, summery season finishing in the winter, getting it all done by the end of October, November. Understand that, but still the results of the teams in Europe are absolutely vital to the image of our league, and I believe that everything possible should be done. Every cooperation, rather than clubs trying to force other clubs to play on the wrong day, as has happened. Look, there's a benefit to all the other clubs. Next season it could be different teams. If the teams this year do well, they'll have a slightly handier route in terms of seedings and so on. But what Shamrock Rovers have done this season has been wonderful, and equally, as I mentioned, Sligo did quite well. Derry went out tamely early. St Pat's are still going. Big match tomorrow night.
Don't worry,
against
we haven't
CSK
forgotten about them. But I do want to point out, like, it's going to be hell for leather, as Brian mentions, because the World Cup compresses everything in the European season, and you know, squads strength, playing league matches, etc., etc. But, you know, it'll either be Europa League if they beat Ferencváros. That could be the likes of Man United and Arsenal in there, or the consolation if they lose that tie would be the Conference League. So it's going to be group stage football anyway. Is it all about, not just for players, but for the clubs themselves and everything off the field as well as on the field, bringing a raising of standards across the board, Richard?
Yeah, I think over the last couple of years, I think Shamrock Rovers have tried to do that. They've invested heavily into the club. They've tried to make them as strong as they possibly can. What they've been missing is group stage football. Now they've got it, and it's a case of that can't be just the end of it. It has to be built on from here. I know they've got some great people in the club who want to make the club successful. They want other clubs to join them in that sort of surge for the league to get better and better. And hopefully, if they have a good run, other people will take more interest in the league. They'll invest in the league. They'll invest in other teams, and you start to get a more competitive league. Like Brian says, the players will stay longer. They've already got the opportunity because of Brexit. They're not leaving so early at 16 to go to England. So the opportunity is there, but it's an opportunity that can't be missed. We need to grab it now and really try and drive the league, whether it be the FAI and the league all coming together to make it work, because the opportunities now, it's one of those things that'll pass us by again, and we'll all be going, oh, what's happening with Irish football again? So, well, I
tell you what, Brian, let's hope that Pats can join them and put off a few big results. Obviously, they've got Sofia second leg, and then obviously a tough playoff round if they get through that. You never know, it might happen.